The movie begins with the date, April 1865. At this time, the President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, gives a book to a man named Henry, writing some things related to his life in it, and says that I will not be able to do this work any further. Now take command from here. After this, the story goes back 37 years in flashback and we can see Abraham Lincoln in childhood, who had come to fish with his father at that time. Then Abraham's friend William, who was an African American, started harassing him by some Americans. This was the time when whites used to run their power on black people and always considered them a slave. Abraham's father Thomas gets angry at this and he also gets into a fight with their leader Jack. Jack was a big landlord and a good reputed person here. That is why he considered everyone a trivial creature and used to tell everyone the truth every time. Abraham's father tells him that this place is not your private property, it is government property. Just because we have money doesn't mean you bought the whole place. I will complain to your police. To which Jack says that well then that's the matter. You have to teach a lesson now. And after that he gives him a cruel smile and these people leave from there. The scene shifts to night, where Abraham was sleeping in his upper room. Then he hears the sound of someone coming into his house and when he looks down, he sees Jack near his mother. But at this time Abraham was quite small and before he could do anything, Jack had escaped from there after doing some activities with his mother. The scene here is in the morning and when Thomas sees his wife, her condition had deteriorated completely. His eyes had rolled back. He calls the doctor and the doctor says that this disease seems new to me. It will have to be taken to the city for treatment. And as soon as the doctor leaves, exactly 1 hour later, Abraham's mother dies. He tells his father that I saw Jack come here last night. Thomas had understood that he had taken revenge on me this morning, but he was a rich man in this village, so he could not mess with him. That is why he explains the same thing to his son Abraham too, that as long as I am alive, you do not need to take revenge from anyone. After that, time moves forward and the story goes 10 years ahead. Here Abraham was sitting in a bar drinking a lot of alcohol. Well, his father was also dead, so he had made up his mind to kill Jack. A man named Henry comes there, who sees Abraham drinking too much alcohol. As soon as he puts his hand on his shoulder, his gun falls down. Henry thinks that he will definitely kill someone today, and now since Abraham had already made a plan to kill Jack, he was following him. In an alley, Jack was sucking the blood of his new prey. Just then Abraham reaches there and shoots him. But Jack's speed was very fast and he escapes from his bullet. There is a tough fight between these two. Since Jack was a vampire, he beat Abraham very badly. But still, Abraham managed to shoot him in one eye. He thought that Jack would be dead now and his revenge would also be complete. But he was a vampire who had also survived his bullet and was now starting to weigh on Abraham. But then Henry arrives there and throws him so hard with one hand that Jack falls across the entire wooden bridge to the other side. The scene then shifts to the next morning, and Abraham, whose condition was very bad, because he had fought a vampire last night. When he wakes up, he finds himself in Henry's house. Henry tells him that you fought well, to which Abraham asks who you are after all. Henry says that I am a vampire hunter, I have many weapons. To kill them, when I saw you for the first time, I understood that the flame of revenge is burning inside you. Abraham wanted to avenge his mother, so he requests Henry to give him good training in fighting. However, Henry was also looking for a partner who could start a big campaign against the vampires. But Abraham had only the death of his mother's murderer on his head. Now who knows whether he will attack the other vampires or not, it was a big mystery. But here Abraham, to avenge Jack, agrees to all his terms and then begins the training of Abraham Lincoln's vampire hunting. He had many weapons, such as guns, bows and arrows, but he chose an axe and after practicing for several months, he mastered the use of the axe and became a vampire hunter. Now, while Henry tracked the location of all those vampires on one side, Abraham went and killed them at night. This continued for many years and Abraham had killed more than 50 vampires so far. Henry had taught him one thing before doing this work. That do not read in any love angle and do not get married and have children, because if you do so, the vampires will get your weakness. But still, Abraham falls in love with a girl named Mary in the city. After so many years, we are shown Jack, whose new victim is none other than Mary. Abraham had already fought Jack once. He tells Henry about it, then Henry gives him a silver watch and says that it will come in handy when the time comes. After this, Abraham sets out to kill Jack. But then Jack realizes that there is someone here, so he escapes before Abraham can attack him and opens the horses in the stable nearby to escape from him. Since he was a vampire, he had superhuman strength and super fastness. So, he starts enjoying Abraham's fun and runs him quite far, but there comes a movement where Abraham catches him and is about to kill him. But just before dying, Jake tells him that the person you work for, that is Henry, he is also a vampire. Did he tell you this? Abraham does not believe his words and kills him. But this thing had already settled in Abraham's mind all night, and when he reaches Henry's house to meet him, he finds him hunting another girl. Now Abraham was also angry and he beats Henry a lot and was about to finish him. Just then Henry tells him the truth that about 50 years ago there used to be a vampire named Adam, who killed many people in our village. And after that, he also killed my cousin in front of my eyes by drinking his blood and at the same time made me a vampire. Now there is a treaty among us vampires that we cannot kill each other. If you have to kill, only a human can kill. And now to avenge the death of my cousin, I was looking for someone like this, who has no family and hates vampires. I know I did wrong, but I had no other option but to do so. Slowly, time moves on and we see Abraham's increasing inclination towards politics. He used to do politics during the day, and hunt vampires at night. Now, even Adam's girlfriend had come to know that a vampire hunter had arrived in the city who was killing all of us one by one. At that time, there was a difference of opinion between white and black in America. That is, whites used to make blacks their slaves and make them work as slaves. Now, since Abraham Lincoln had come to power, he passed an agreement in which no one would enslave anyone, but as soon as this proposal was passed, a large number of Americans gathered and started fighting with them to show their authority over the blacks, but still Abraham Lincoln did not back down. One day, Vaduma, dressed as a servant, enters his room in the White House and infects his son. Mary tells Abraham to save her son by any means. There was only one way to save the life, that was to make him a vampire, but Abraham did not want that. His son dies before his eyes and he can do nothing. After that, he decides that he will not leave until he kills all the vampires. He gets a large army prepared and sends it to fight the vampire. But vampires had super strength and fastness. For this reason, no soldier could stand before them. This goes on for a long time, where many soldiers are killed. Then Abraham remembers that the weakness of these vampires is silver. That is why he starts collecting silver from the whole city. But this does not please Josiah, a politician of his own group, and he goes and tells Vaduma everything that Abraham is collecting all the silver of the city to kill all of you vampires, and tonight he will transport this silver to Pittsburgh with the help of train, where a large herd of all of you vampires lives. Vaduma tells Adam about this. Now, on the night when Abraham's train carrying silver weapons left for Pittsburgh. Just then, Adam and his team arrive and attack them. And from below, Vaduma burns the entire bridge so that the train with so much silver inside, the train will blast. But later Adam comes to know that he has been cheated. There was never any silver inside that train. It was only filled with stones, and Abraham had played this trick to finish us leaders. After that, Abraham Lincoln continues to wipe out those vampires with his axe. Although Adam is killed in it, but Vadoma escapes from there. Vadoma used to love Adam very much, and now that her love was not there, she thought of killing Abraham's wife Mary. And as soon as she comes after her to attack her, Mary understands that my life is also in danger. Now she did not have any silver weapon at that time, but she put the silver necklace she was wearing around her neck as a cartridge in the gun. And she shoots a bullet into the head of Adam, causing her to die on the spot. After this, all the soldiers reload their guns with silver and kill many vampires. In this way, Abraham Lincoln makes the entire state vampire-free so that no one's life is lost, and no one else becomes a vampire. The story then transitions back to the present time. We see the date April 4th, 1865. Abraham Lincoln had written all this information in his diary and handed it to his friend Henry. Today was the day when Abraham Lincoln's presidency had come to an end. Suddenly, a helicopter arrives, and we learn that America's new president has arrived. And that's where the movie ends. In the post-credits of the film, we see the present time. People are enjoying a match on TV with smartphones in their hands. Suddenly, Henry comes up behind a person and puts his hand on his shoulder. This causes a gun to fall from his hand as well. This directly implies that there will be a sequel to this film, where once again a vampire hunter will eliminate other vampires in the city. And with that, the movie ended. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel.